Hi everyone. As you know, I have made a few little envelope journals lately in a vintage style, and they were little junk journals, and I thought I would show you the process that my process, I guess I should say. I want to show you my process for creating these little vintage junk journals. And I'm going to use for the cover, which is a 6x9 envelope. I'm going to use this napkin for the front cover, and I'll use this one for the inside of the cover. Okay, so I'm going to put this in fast forward and get started covering the envelope. All right, so it's been a few days since I've worked on the cover of the journal, and I wanted to show you how I'm going to do the closure. And I wanted to tell you that, in areas like this where when you're doing this, if you get, an area where the napkin isn't quite covering the edge of the envelope, it's okay, because you can use your distress inks and stuff like that to kind of cover that over and kind of hide it just a little bit. It's not really a big deal, and considering the fact that it's a junk journal, that makes it okay in my book anyway. But I also did not fold the napkins over the edges, and so the edges are white. So I'll be taking my distress ink and just going over all the edges, just like that. It covers all the white, and it also adds a little bit of additional distressing to the cover. So back to the closure I was talking about. Just to kind of close, not to close the book, but to close the flap, I'm going to take just a regular little paper flower, like I'm sure most of you have in your stash. just going to use that. And I took some scraps from the napkin that was left over, and I covered a little piece of manila file folder. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue that right in the middle of the flower here, just to give it a pretty little pop of color. All right, I'm gonna take a string, and I'm gonna tie a knot in one end. I'm just doing like a sewing knot. Okay. And what I want to do is attach it to the flap of the envelope. And I'm going to use this flower to cover the knot. So basically it will look like this. Okay. So I'm just going to staple this down. Just try to make sure I get my flower pretty much in the center here of the flap. And I'm going to staple it on because it is a junk journal, and because it'll look cute. And I'm using the tiny attacher, Tim Holtz tiny attacher, excuse me, but you can use any stapler for this. So I'm going to put a couple of these. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to come over here and kind of crisscross it just a little bit. Okay. And if you want, you can take this and I usually do this on staples. I will take a hammer and just kind of flatten those out just a little bit so they don't catch on things. All right, so now we have the flap with the string attached and the little pretty little flower to cover up where the knot is to the string, and it's nice and secure. And then I just want to take, I punched another circle with some of this napkin scrap glued to it, and I put a little hole in it, and I'm going to take a little brad, and I'm going to attach it right down here in the in this part of the envelope. So I need to decide about where I want that to go, and I'm going to make a little mark. I want to make sure I get it, you know, pretty close to where this string is coming down here. So let's say we're going to do it right about here. Okay. So let's see, I need a pokey tool. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to just poke a little hole where I made the pencil mark. And it doesn't have to be specially made with a hole punch or anything, just anything that will poke a little hole for you, okay? And then just going to put the brad in and open it up on the inside of the envelope. Okay, so you can see that in there. It's opened up now. All right, so off camera, I mashed down the staples with a hammer, and I covered the top of this to protect it, and I hammered that just a little bit, excuse me, just to flatten that out nice and flat, okay? All right, so your closure will work like that. You might have to lift it up just a little bit to get it used to being, having the string wrapped around it. So you'll just close it up just like that. Okay, you can keep as little or as much of the string on there as you want. Don't need a lot, really, just enough to go around a time or two to keep it closed. And so there we go. We got the closure on the envelope. All right, now that we're going to put aside, and I'm going to work on some of the pages. This is what I picked out to use for pages in my little book. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper. This is also a piece of scrapbook paper. It's got a lot of maps and that kind of information on it. And here's a little piece of a writing paper, like from the school type writing paper. Here's a piece of sewing pattern instructions, a word search puzzle, a popcorn bag, a piece of a dictionary page, a piece of large graph paper, a tea or coffee stained doily. This one may be coffee stained, coffee dyed. An envelope, a piece of graph paper, sorry, not graph paper, ledger paper, piece of ledger paper, a piece of a page from an Asian book. So it looks really cool, the writing on there. And a heart type doily that I put in the center. Okay, so then as you go back through, you've got all the back sides of all those things, all those different pages, or the other side, I should say. And so in total, this book has 13 sheets, which will make 26 pages and 52 sides. So that's quite a significant amount of pages in there. That's pretty good. And those pages will fit into the book just like this, okay? So fun. I really love making these. That's why I wanted to show you guys how I'm doing it. Okay, so there's the pages, and then I'm going to need to go through now, and I'm going to do some things to these pages to dress them up, to strengthen them, because like the creases, for instance, are going to need some tape of some kind just for stability so that they won't tear out of the book as easily, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to go through and fix up some of these pages. I may use washi tape in the center of some. I may use this medical tape, which sticks pretty well and is pretty dependable. And here's a brown version of the same tape. It's just brown. So anyway, I'm just going to go through and do some things to the pages, and you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and we'll put that in fast forward. Okay, so now I have all of the creases reinforced, and they'll be nice and sturdy. It's hard to see some of these. That paper tape works really well when you burnish it down. You can barely even see that on there, but it's burnished down, and it will reinforce the pages really well. So it's a good thing to use. And when I put the washi tape on this one, this is the only one so far that I used washi tape on. I used a little bit of glue stick to make sure that it stays in place. So now that I have them all reinforced, I'm going to add a little bit to some of the pages, and by that I mean, like, for instance, this particular page is completely white, okay, on the inside, the back of the scrapbook paper. So I'm gonna attach, I believe I'm gonna attach a napkin, piece of a napkin in there, just to give it some color and some, you know, the older look, antique look on the inside there. So these next few steps, I'm just going to go ahead and be adding a few things to some of these pages. Okay, so I decided to slow the camera down a little and start adding a few things, and slow it down so that you could see what I'm doing. You guys saw in the fast forward segments that I was just gluing some strips of papers, little scrapbook papers and things here and there, attaching little pieces like this in the corner for a little tuck spot. And you saw what I was doing there, and I left that fast forwarded because it was so basic. Okay, and now that we've got that done, I wanted to start adding a few little bits and pieces for embellishment and stuff like that. So I've got a little box full of all kinds of little just some little papers and tags and ephemera and stamps, tickets, you name it. I've got just a variety of things. Some of these are little strips for that are leftovers from the pieces that I've already put in the book. And there's a couple of little bags. There's one here, there's one here. I thought these would make cute little pockets, to add to some of the pages. This is a little piece of cork paper. So it's very flexible. I'm not sure if I'll use that or not, but I have it in the book, in the package here, just to, in my box here, just to see if there's a place to use it. These little papers you saw me attaching to the edges of the couple of those pages, like here. This is collage paper. It's very thin, okay, and it's got a lot of nice vintagey colors and patterns in it. So those were fun to use. And I've got a couple more of these photographs. These are the Tim Holtz part of that collection of ephemera that he has. This is a little scrap left over from a file folder, and I thought it would make a cute little place to add photos or journaling or whatever, and maybe tuck it into maybe one of the little bags that would look cute, on a page, tuck in a little thing to write, to journal on, or to add photos to, or whatever. Anyway, there's some little tags and little things. Here's a real old-timey rubber band. Hadn't seen one of those in a while, right? They're mostly bright colors now, and this is one of the old brown styles. So, anyway, I just thought I would start adding some of these little bits and show you how just the process I go through. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it. It's just picking up things and deciding, does that look good here? Does that look good there? And then just adding it as we go along. So I'm getting my stapler out because I may use it. There's also some more paper scraps and some journaling blocks here. Some more little tags, and just fun things that you would want to stick in a junk journal. So yeah, this one is actually a flashcard, and so let's just add in some stuff here. I thought that this little tab kind of folds over, and I thought that would look cute on this on the edge of this little postcard page here. So I'm going to attach it there. I'll have it stick out a little bit, but not too much. All right, so get it still and not moving. Okay, there and there. So that can be journaled on. Right there, can be written in the little tab. And just adding that one little thing that makes such a huge difference on the way that blank page looks. And so I just wanted you to see that it's a simple process. It doesn't take a whole lot of thought or planning or anything like that, because like I said, I've got this stuff spread out here, and I'm just gonna stick whatever looks good. Like, see, I like the way this looks. This is like an old tin sign, and I think that looks nice with those yellows on that. So I'm just going to attach it. And this stuff doesn't even have to match either, by the way. Doesn't have to match at all. It can be totally random. And I'm going to even tip it just a little bit so that it's not straight. Just like that. It's just fun. This little piece, and I think there's another one here, and this one. These were actually on a gift bag that I found at Tuesday morning, and it was a pretty large size gift bag, and it was covered, the entire bag, front and back and bottom, everything was covered in these old tin sign images. So I just cut it all apart. I'm just using them, you know, because they're fun. So that's something else you can keep your eye open for, is little things like that. And of course I got it on a clearance thing, which made it even better. So yeah, just keep your eye out for stuff like that, because it's really fun to be able to use them in something like this, you know. And then you've got like ready-made ephemera like that. So okay, let's see. I'm just kind of flipping through, looking and kind of glancing over here to see if there's anything, you know, that I want to attach or add in. Let's see. Let's take this ticket here. I think that's kind of cute. And hey, this was another bag that I found at Tuesday morning, and it was covered in tickets, little tags like luggage tags kind of things. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I kind of grunged them up just a little bit with some watered down beigey colored paint, and because they were white, everywhere you see this brown color, they were white, and I just kind of grunged them up a little bit and cut the book apart, and cut the bag apart, and I think they're just so cute to use in something like this. So all right, so let's put the tickets here, and just because they're cute there, and why not, right? Let's turn that up here like this. And I could actually, let's see, I've got a little container full of small embellishments too, okay? So we've got some flowers and little bits, okay? All kinds of buttons and just little tiny small embellishments. So let's see what we have here. Here's a little clip. Maybe we'll just clip it here for now and move on. If I decide to do something different, I'll switch it out later. Now this little popcorn bag, of course, makes a little pocket right here, and so I'm thinking on the other side where it's the bottom of the bag right here, I'm thinking I might just at first I was thinking I might cut the end of the bag off, but then later I thought, you know, I could actually cut a little place right down in here, because this is the type of bag that folds open, you know, to give it, you know, thickness for the popcorn. So I could just cut a little place right in there and be able to fit like a tag or a little card, something like this could go right down in there. So I think I'm going to do that when I get back that way. But I think this is really cute the way it makes a little pocket there too. So we'll fill in some stuff in the pockets when we get done attaching some things. So let's go. Here's a little piece of burlap tissue paper, and let's see, what else do we have? And here's a little tag, so we could just like maybe do this. Okay, turn the burlap in this direction. I think I will actually put a little glue on that because it is so flimsy and fragile. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue stick on there. Get my paper out here. And you can put a little glue stick on a tissue paper, but don't try to do this on a napkin because they are a little bit too fragile. Tissue paper has a little bit more heft to it, so it will allow you to to do that. So let's just put that here. No reason, but just because. Okay. Wipe the glue off me. Okay, and then you can take and attach the this little tag here. And you know what? I might want to put a string in there. Do I have any string? I guess I don't have any string laying right here, but it can be done. And in case I decide I want to, I'm just going to put a staple in the corner right here. And then if I want to, I can come back later and put a little string in that tag there. Okay, so it's coming along. Our book is just coming right along. All right, and this, of course, is a little tuck spot. We might be able to do something like, you know, tuck a little photo in there. Let's see, do I want to do that, or do I want to put a little tag there? Let's see. Some of these have, that's kind of cute there. And that'll be good for journaling or photos. And you can do the same thing, you know, you can add little tags here and there to your tags, strings to your tags. You can't even think or talk properly. Okay, let's see. Now this little envelope, I thought it turned out really cute, and I love the birdies on the washi tape there. And these, of course, make a pocket on each side. And I like the window here, so I was thinking, I have a little piece of washi tape, and I thought I might put it on this little leftover piece of the graph paper, which is a cute little, you know, little place for notes. And if I put this down in here, let's see, let's scoot it all the way down. Okay, I can see that my little bird can be on this line here, which is, okay, right here. So it's right here. And I'm going to make just a tiny little pencil mark so I don't forget where it is. Okay. And then I'm going to put this piece of washi tape there. Okay, and then just above that, I think I'll add the rest of this piece that I just cut off. And we'll have even more showing through that window. I think it'll be kind of cute. That's better, but okay. So now I'm going to just trim this off. Go. And then inside we could stamp. Let's stamp a butterfly. Here. There we go. Pretty. Okay. And then this other one can just be stamped right there. All right. So we have these cute little birdies on the washi tape, and you can use that for some journaling. I think it'd be fun. Look how cute that looks. They're showing right through the window in the envelope. Ooh, that matches with the blue dots over here. That's cool. Okay, let's see. Here's a New York City sticker. Looks kind of cute with the places I've been note. So we can put that over on this side. Kind of cute. I love the napkin. When you have a napkin that has a whole lot of white space, and it's not real busy with the image. It looks really nice to put that down onto book text or music sheets, because it just really shows through nicely. It looks awesome. Right. And then over here, I've got one of my tea bags that I made. Thought this little bird would look so cute here. And let's see, I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna put a tiny bit of glue top and at the bottom. And kind of just stick it down like that. And then up here, I'm gonna staple the string up here and let the tag kind of hang over the top. I think that'll be cute. There we go. So it could be on the inside, the tag, or it can be on the outside. Okay, that's fine. And then we're right near the end here, okay? So, let's see here. I think this little stamp is cute, would be cute here. It's Christmassy, but it looks really cute, I think, on that green. I'm gonna tear the little bit of envelope that's attached there, just to give it a more worn look. And I'm just going to use some glue since it's out. There we go. I finished this little journal off camera. I just did a few finishing touches, and I'm going to go through and show you everything that I did, and it was all very simple stuff. I did glue the flower on. I can't remember if I did that in the video or not. I glued that in place. And I stuck a little vinyl sticker on the bottom here. It's like a little butterfly in the corner. And I added the closure. So this is just a piece of lace that I tea stained, and it's just wrapped around the book and then folded over a couple of times to keep the book closed. And there's a little, there's a knot in the end of the lace, and then there's just a little bronze colored safety pin with a leaf charm on the bottom. Okay, so this just unwraps just like this. Okay, and then inside I added a handmade tag. Those of you who follow me on Instagram have already seen this tag and one other picture of the process of creating this tag, but this is just using up some leftover bits and pieces and scraps and collaging them down onto a tag, and stamping here and there. And this is a little butterfly that was stamped that I colored in and put on the top. And then I just put a piece of those collage papers that I was using in this journal. That's a piece of that I just glued onto the back to finish it off. So to hold it onto this page, there is a clear transparency. You can see it there, and I just cut a little triangular piece right here and just glued it onto that front page and tucked the tag inside there, and that way the tag isn't hidden and you can see through the little pocket that holds it. So I think that's fun. It's just a fun way to do it. So let's see, I didn't do anything different to these pages or this. I did stamp a little arrow on this tag here, and I can't remember if I had the string. I did go back through and add some string to some of the tags, so if I repeat something I've already said in the video, it's just because I don't remember. It's taken me a couple of days to get this book put together and get the video finished up, so forgive me if I repeat myself. Nothing different here. Let's see. I did add a little bit more paper scraps to this tag so that it's just got a little more color on it and, you know, a little more substance. And I put some those little journaling cards in the popcorn bag just to have something tucked in here. So that makes that fun and kind of full. All right, and then I added a piece of paper to the back of the bag. And this is not really finished by any means. You can, you know, when you make a junk journal, you can continue to add to it constantly all the time. You know, be stapling things here or gluing things there that you find that you like. This little tag was blank right here. Sorry. It was blank right here, this color. And it was just an empty spot like for journaling. And I just took a scrap of the napkin that I had used inside here. and just put it over that area just to bring some color into this page too. And I added a little strip, leftover strip of the napkin that I used here, over here. So you can see, you can take your little bits and pieces and remains that are left over and use them, you know, just to add color or a bit of interest somewhere. Doesn't have to mean anything. That's what I like about a junk journal. It doesn't have to mean anything. It just can be stuck down stuff just for the fun of it. So here's a tag I had stuck in there, and I did add some string to that. On this little envelope page, I had put a piece of paper in here and it covered up the little birdie washi tape. So I just took some more washi tape and added it to the top of the paper. And it fits right down in there, and the little birdies match up right here, so you can still see the strip of the birds, and I love that. So that was fun. And let's see, what else? I think I had already added all of this stuff when I was filming. I think you saw that. And this was kind of funny because I stamped the bird and his tail got cut off and it stamped onto my tabletop, right? So I just flipped it over and stamped the rest of his tail on the back because I'm just silly that way. So that's that. And I stamped the word believe onto this napkin. And I think that really adds a lot to that page. I really love that. And oh, and I stamped this tag too. I don't remember if I did that on camera, but I stamped the tag there. And I stamped another little arrow onto this page. And didn't add anything here yet. Let's see, I didn't add anything here. I added this little number 4. I don't remember if I did that on camera. I took that piece of cork that I had shown and I stamped this word right on there, and it worked out beautifully. I mean, just stamped really nice on there. So this is really thin. Like I said, it's like paper, and it tears out. I just tore it out of that corner and then, you know, glued it right there on the page. And I think that's so neat and adds a neat little bit of different texture on there. I added some washi tape on this page, the front and the back. I did the same thing on this little tag that I had put in here. I added the birds across the top so that they could still be seen there. And I stamped a little bit on the back of this little journaling card that I had already stuck in there. And I added the little tab so it's easy to pull out. And I think that's really fun. It's just so easy. I mean, that's a scrap of paper folded over, made a tab, just stapled it in place. I mean, that's what's good to me about a junk journal, is that it's just so much fun because it's so easy to just put stuff anywhere, you know. Now this page, I had not included this photograph. I had this, and I had put that in the pocket, and I had added this little Christmas stamp. Well, if you look at this Christmas stamp, it's really interesting because it's a scene of children outside playing in the snow. And there's a little sled here in the snow and everything. And I could not believe that other picture that I had in this little stack was 2 little kids in the snow with their sled. Isn't that the funniest thing? So that got tucked in there. And then I realized that the shade of that photo matched the green here on the pocket. So I was like, cool. It looks a little bit brown in the camera I see, but it actually has a little bit of a green hue to it. So either way, it was adorable the way that matched. So it sort of looks like these kids got their new sled for Christmas, and you've got the Christmas notation down here on the stamp. Just fun, just fun. All right, let's see. I had added the sticker, these stickers on these pages, and I went back later and just doodled a little bit on the edge of the sticker there, just something for fun. Stamped a little postmark across the stamp here. I think that added a lot to that little page. I added a string to this little tag that's in there with that other little one with the baby carriage on it. I guess I could turn that one this way, huh? Okay, and then we've got the key clip there. That was the same. Oh, I added some buttons on the bottom of this page with the sewing stuff and the lace. I thought that was fun. And see, I don't think anything's different here. This is the little birdie tea bag. And in the back, I put some of the leftover bits that I had grabbed to use in this little junk journal. I just put some of the leftovers in there so that if I want to come back later, I can add them. And they're all right there together. There were some that didn't fit in the pocket, which I still have in a little basket here. But this is just so much fun to make, you guys. And all I did to attach this lace, I meant to tell you, is I just punched a hole and set an eyelet, okay, right there, and then just stuck the lace through and tied it. That's all I did. If you don't happen to have a crocodile or something that will set eyelets for you, you don't have to punch a hole at all. You can simply staple your lace in place, just like we stapled this little string in place back here. Sorry, I keep getting out of frame. My camera's down lower so it would be close, and I keep going out of frame. But we stapled the little string right here for this, so you could do the same thing on the cover and just staple your piece of lace there. And if you want to make a knot there just so that it has something to catch on, that's fine. You know, you can sew it, hand sew it to your book cover. It works either way. But I really had a blast putting this together. And I hope that it helped some of you guys to have an idea of what you can do in a junk journal yourself, how you can put one together. And I wanted to say that I'm going to be putting this little journal in my Etsy store. And I will be selling it along with all of the leftovers. You know, there were a lot of parts and pieces, you know, that were used in this creation, and then there's also this little container full of, you know, these embellishments that I didn't use. So all of that will be being sold along with this journal, and so keep an eye out for that. And I also, while I was gathering these things to make this journal, I also gathered enough to put together several kits so that if you want to purchase a kit, you can make a journal that's got pretty much all of the same stuff that this one has in it. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside for a second. I'm going to show you what's going to be in these kits. It's a nice big fat package of goodies, okay? All right, and it does include one of my handmade tags, and it also does include one of my little handmade tea bags that I had created with that little birdie. So that's included in the kit, all right? Then it's all of the same papers. This paper might be different. Some of your little scraps might be different, but they're all the same as far as the number of sheets and the number of scraps. And it's a matching set of papers, so that all the papers, all the scraps match. Now, the collage papers are not part of that same set, but they do kind of match. They're all vintage in theme, and they have a lot similarities, okay? So there's all of the pages that you saw that went into the little book that I created, the popcorn bag, the heart doily, the dictionary paper, the game sheet, the tea stain or coffee stain doily, the Asian language paper, the graph paper, and the ledger paper. All of those are the same. The same napkins, one for the front cover, one for the inside. The envelope is included. Okay. Then there's all of these little bits that you saw me using, the little piece of file folder, the piece of burlap tissue, all of these scraps. These are the collage papers that are very thin, that are easy to use to add onto your tags and onto your pages, anywhere you want to use them. Piece of the lace like we used on the edge of that one page. The stickers that I used are included. The sheet of cork. The additional 2 napkins that I used on the pages in there. This one I had used on the dictionary page, and this one I used on one of the other pages. I don't remember which one it was. Maybe the graph paper. I don't know. And then the postcard also that was used in the book. All right, and then there's one of the little key clips, and the little bag that I used on the page. Also, the paper scraps. Yep, here's the different papers that could be on the front of that front of that first page that I showed you. This one could be something like one of these. Okay, some tickets, some stamps, some tags, more stamps, another little tag, a little plastic. I didn't use one of these in my other, in the book I created. I didn't have enough of these, but I did have enough for the kits. But this is just a little plastic slide cover, so you can use it as a little frame. More stamps, more photos, tags, some vellum embellishment, another flashcard, little stickers, tab, more journaling cards. Okay, more of the little tin signs, and these will vary in your kits depending on you know, which 2 I grabbed to throw into a kit. More of the little tickets. I'm sorry, baggage. Yeah, they're tickets, but they're baggage claim type tickets. And these will vary too per set. They could be different. A couple more of those tags. A couple more photos. These photos will also be different in every kit. Just 2 photos I randomly chose. That's another piece of scrap from the scrapbook kit. And the rubber band. And I'm not going to take this apart because I've got it all closed up. But this is a little tin, a little aluminum tin you'll receive just like this, full, chock full of embellishments. All the ones, they're not all exact, but they're the same number of embellishments, and those paper flowers that I layered and attached to the cover of the journal. They're all in there. And if you can get this washi tape off easily, you can use part of that in your book. I used little bits of that same kind of washi tape when I was covering, putting it on that paper to go inside the window envelope. So all of that, and then also the lace for the journal closure. It's been, like I said, tea stained by me, and I wrapped it on a card. It's got the little clip holding it in place that you can use in your journal, and it's marked so you'll know that this is the long one that's meant for the closure, as opposed to this piece that's meant to embellish your pages with. So that goes in there. You can use, of course, the little bag on your project as well. And then inside this tiny envelope is the envelope flap closure pieces. No, that's hard to see because of the glare, but it's got the paper flower and the little bits that I used, leftover napkin glued to the file folders, you know, to make to punch the circles and things to add to the closure of the flap. So this is for the flap closure. This is for the journal closure. Okay, so it's going to all be here, all of this together in one kit, and they will be going in my Etsy store. So watch for that. I have a limited number of them, and when they're gone, that's all I will have at this time. But I just wanted to make you aware that they're in there, or that they will be in there. Hopefully they'll be there by the time this video goes up. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And like I said, I hope that this video helps you to see that, you know, making a junk journal can be quite fun. I absolutely loved putting it together, and it's just so much fun making a vintage one or a vintage style one. And tea staining, you know, some laces and things. And I'm happy to be able to share some of that with you guys too, so that if you're not into staining your own stuff, well, this kit comes with stuff that's already stained for you. I hope that that you guys enjoy creating, you know, your own junk journals. And if you don't have the stuff within your grasp to be able to make a vintage style one, just check out my Etsy store, and hopefully you'll have an opportunity to get one of those. Again, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll talk to you again later. Bye-bye.